I don't
No.
mind.
All right. So we're good. What's up, man?
Yeah, how are you, man? It's been a bit.
I
Been a
know.
lot of interesting, chitter chatter in the shoe world since we last caught up. So I'm looking forward to chatting about some of this stuff. Yeah, I was curious about, obviously you put up that video about kind of responding to Rose Anvil, and just thought it was to me. I was thinking about this a little bit more because I do have the Alden Indy 405 here. Partly because it was one of my earlier purchases, in the shoe game, and partly because I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones. And I was thinking about, construction, like, you can get a $500 pair of shoes that's built to like crush a workplace setting. Like if you're a construction worker, you're in, some sort of more rugged, sort of actually rugged line of work. I'm not,
Yeah.
but you're chopping trees, or you're, on a construction site. You're going to need something. I'd rather have my $500 spent towards something that's going to protect my feet, and it's going to last a long time. So I have to spend another $500, because I'm sure if I'm doing that kind of stuff, like I'm not going to be in the shoe hobby for the most part, and granted, this guy is more of a fashion accessory at this point than anything else, with the name and all that kind of stuff. But I think what it brought up to me, and the whole thing with Roseanne Wolf, was like, well, how much better is this? We all kind of think Alden is so much better than like say Alan Edmonds, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, it kind of seems like it may not be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
just kind of makes me think a little bit.
yeah, that's like an interesting point of it. I think to so first, like to your point with the just the concept of like work boots versus
I mean,
casual rugged looking boots that
that are
like
not built for the workplace, like not
yeah.
for
So
construction.
so I think like there's and even so I think like he had used Nicks and Whites.
Whites,
So
yeah. You're comparing
really it
like
was he was looking. I
early,
think he was looking for comparable, at least from my understanding, comparable made in the USA boots. So
yeah,
those are the ones that are handmade. I think they're handmade and made in the USA. Um, Probably like more handmade. Nicks or Whites, you're getting a boot that's made of like real leather in and out. If you go
yeah,
with Alden, you're getting more brand recognition. That was probably a better way of saying it. And
yeah,
with that, your money isn't getting you as much. It doesn't
yeah.
necessarily mean that the boot is bad. And I think like that's like one of the gut reactions from a lot of the folks that like love Alden is that he was downgrading the boot. And I think it was more so that you get much more, your money goes further with other USA made boots than Alden. Not necessarily that the boot's going to fall apart.
For me, Alden is about like comfort. It's about the brand. It's about the indie thing, or whatever you want to call it, like the recognition that you own this boot. And if you're in the boot hobby or shoe hobby, it's sort of like a box check for some people. And in reality, I find it to be a very comfortable, very comfortable. I mean, the True Balance Last is very comfortable for me, and people seem to like it when they look at it on my feet. That being said, if you're going to get a pair of Whites, you're going to have to, or Knicks, or one of these guys, you're going to have to break it in. I think Carl Morosky was just talking about these Knicks boots that he has, and he said that his favorite one he bought because the one that he was wearing was not comfortable. And so he bought it, but it took him like a month or more to like actually get it to the point where it was comfortable. I still think that there's sometimes you pay for the name. I mean, I'm into cameras, and Leica's that way. Both Leica and your Sony's will take amazing pictures. We can even mount the same lenses, but you're paying a little bit more for the brand and the whatever you want to call it.
There's definitely some valid reasons I think why people are attracted to the indie in the sense that it's still a very, I say still, meaning over the last what century or however old that pattern is, like
Yeah.
it's a very like attractive looking pattern. The True Balance
Yeah.
Last I think is difficult for it's a little bulkier, so depending on what aesthetic you
American kind of round glass. It's
yeah
nothing comfortable. Like it's
right
almost like an orthopedic glass.
yeah
And
and
what's interesting, most people who have them for like 15, 20 years, but we're not like at a work site. We're not going to like take this shoe apart. We're we're gonna wear it gently for the most part, you know,
Yeah, and that's
and
the
it's gonna
thing.
last, even if it's made
Yeah,
out of leatherboard, for
even
sure,
even
one hundred
Crockett and
percent.
Jones, like I'm sure like
Yeah,
Crockett and Jones has some you know, man-made
their best
materials in
friend
it.
or
It's
whatever.
not, yeah, it's not all leather. And I think
Yeah,
the big difference is today these things are called out because everyone's so like hypersensitive to being able
yeah,
to differentiate the boots or the shoes that they have by the details as opposed to just like that's the boot that they want. And
yeah, for sure.
it calls more
Makes me wonder
attention to
about
this kind of
like,
stuff.
you know, like what are you paying for, I guess, and ultimately, are you paying for? I mean, are you paying for just the privilege of owning the brand? Are you paying for a particular style, a particular look? Are you paying for the construction quality? Are you paying for like how clean the work is done? You know, like are you paying for leatherboard, like, or leather? You know,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of things that go into it, and I totally get like if you're buying something, you want it to quote unquote last forever. You want to last for a long time. You want it to be well built. You don't want to be, you know, getting a Porsche that's really just a dressed up Honda. You know what I mean? Like,
The video wasn't super clear, but I wasn't really even like reacting to Rose Anvil's video because I didn't think it was that like controversial. Other than
yeah,
whoever
either.
I'm really I want to know who like sponsored it that like backed out of sponsoring it. But um, the my
Whites and Nicks, probably.
my reaction was more so to all the people that got so like caught up and bent out of
Oh
shape and
yeah, there was some all
overreacted. Yeah, like that's what
all
I
in Chicago or whatever.
right. That's what I
Yeah,
like took. Um, that's what I had a problem with was just the fact that like
yeah.
he's
It's to
not
me,
he
it's a very like knee jerk, like anxious but wants to be dismissive reaction. I like that's how I took it. Was like I don't give a f. I don't, you know, like you know, it just seemed like what why are you having this reaction, man? Like
right.